You know, these last 24 hours have been very, very exciting. Obviously, BTC new all-time high has gotten the market jazzed. We've seen a lot of green, Shiba Inu included. And in fact, SHIB is starting to create a bit of a parabolic move. And I want to show you guys exactly what I mean in that regard. And there was something that I stumbled across right now in terms of Ethereum that the last time this took place was in 2019. And it actually led us to do some pretty nice surges across the crypto space. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So just want to talk about a couple things in terms of Shiba Inu on a fundamental level. First of all, we actually saw a little bit of a holder sell-off take place from Sunday into kind of the middle of the week. When we're looking at Shiba Inu holders in general here, you guys can see, from Sunday through basically Wednesday, the numbers were dropping. People were capitulating and dumping their bags. And now that looks like that was not a very smart decision because Shiba Inu has, in fact, surged back to the upside. It's making some great moves. Today we're up about 2.87% so far. And what I want to show you guys is when we're looking at this trend, guys, this is a parabolic formation. That is where that's the shape of a parabola, right? That's how things want to move. I'm not saying it's going to continue that way, but we are seeing a little bit of acceleration. And part of what this probably is again, we've seen huge amounts of Shiba Inu supply removal. We have huge conviction from holders. And frankly, as Ethereum is making moves, it's obviously going to drag Shiba Inu up with it. But we're still waiting for that obviously major burst of excitement, this major interest in altcoins in general. It just hasn't really been happening quite yet. What I have to say here is when we're looking at BTC, this is what's really helping us go on this run, right? This is helping us across the crypto space just get that little burst of excitement that we need. BTC setting a new all-time high of almost 112K. That basically kind of invalidates this triple top idea here. So that's very nice. It's exactly what we wanted to see. Now, I did stumble across something very interesting in terms of Ethereum. And Shiba Inu may in fact be waiting for this to extend this parabolic movement that it's making. And what I found is that right now, Ethereum is actually kind of sandwiched between its 200-day EMA and its 200-day SMA. And this doesn't happen very often. The last time this took place was actually all the way back in 2019. Now, 2019, for those that weren't familiar, it was a bear market. So it's kind of surprising that was the last time this formation actually took place. But what we actually saw at that time, and let me see if I can find it, was back here in 2019 as ETH had bottomed and started to work its way to the upside. We actually saw it get sandwiched between these moving averages. And then eventually we had a breakout to the upside. This was actually a 66% breakout to the upside. And we saw kind of a nice rally across the crypto market. Again, completely different times, completely irrelevant to now. But I did think that was interesting nonetheless. And what we're starting to see for Ethereum is a very similar formation. We're seeing momentum building. We're still seeing, accumulation from large entities. Yesterday was basically a nothing day in terms of institutional money. It was like a $600 and some $1,000 Ethereum day. But we're still seeing a lot of the momentum carry into the market, carry into Ethereum, right? ETH actually still outpacing BTC is a great sign. And this is what we've been kind of waiting for throughout the space. So now, are we going to see Ethereum make this, 66% move to the upside once again? This would be about, this would actually be a new all-time high. Oh, no, not a new all-time high. I almost got ahead of myself. It'd be a new cycle high in terms of Ethereum. And obviously that would get people pretty darn excited. That would get ERCs running. That would get something like Shiba Inu out of this range of resistance that it's fighting. And again, guys, we're still not out of this big liquidity level in terms of SHIB. Okay, that 4014 through 4019 range is a tight one, a tough one. It's where SHIB has really fought hard against in the past. But once we get through that, there's very little resistance. There's very little to actually hold Shiba Inu back at that point, which is a great sign. Now, what I will say is we are starting to see Shiba Inu search traffic on the rise. That's a great sign. And I'm still seeing a lot of these articles come out. Oh yeah, SHIB spikes, then reverses sharply as whale activity turns bearish. Whale activity is not bearish. We've talked about this ad nauseum. Whales just continue to add and add and add. And obviously the big surge just the other day is just another thing that has brought us to this huge presence of long-term whales that see long-term conviction when it comes to Shiba Inu. It's the thing that's helped us create this pivot. It's the thing that's helped SHIB show stability all this time. It's the reason why SHIB did not set or did not add a zero back, even when we went on one of the most brutal drops we've seen in crypto history. And what I mean by that is just black swan event after black swan event, negative news after negative news, major retail capitulation, some of the lowest fear greed index numbers we have ever seen. And yet Shiba Inu, like a phoenix from the ashes, is rising and showing resilience. And this is what we want to see. Now, for the people that are just wanting prices to surge to the upside and us to hit new all-time highs, I get it. I want SHIB to do that as well. But understand that these reversals, they take time. And what we're waiting for is, again, that switch to finally flip for retail, for people to finally realize, oh, we're actually in a very good spot. We can actually start to move our money back into the market. And it has slowly but surely been happening. In fact, USDT dominance hitting the lowest levels we have seen since all the way back here in the middle of February. That's a great start. It's a great sign. In fact, I can't remember what video I talked about that in, but we were talking about basically this inverse head and shoulders. This is very similar actually to what the DXY was doing. I'm sorry, not inverse head and shoulders being created. Here's your shoulders, all right? Here's your head. Right, we're doing exactly that. We're trying to get to this next leg down where we're trying to approach 3.8% USDT dominance. We did the same exact thing in terms of the DXY, guys. It's not very complicated. We're waiting for the capital to just get confident enough to move back into the market. It is underway. It's taking place, and our window here for time to accumulate is frankly closing very quickly. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.